Howdy ho, ladies and gentlemen.
What's poppin'?
We're going fishing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something before we fish, and we're gonna tell you our top 5 spring bass fishing baits. So that's what the title of this video is about. So we'll go over that, and then that's what we have tied on to fish. So
it's really cold right now. 49 degrees. So I guess not really cold, but it's been pretty cold recently. The ice just got off the water probably what, 2 weeks ago?
yeah, around there. And then so the water's still going to be pretty cold yet, so a couple of the baits may not apply or work too well yet, but they will. Yeah, so
we'll see when we get there.
We'll see you at the pond. What is up, people? We have made it to the pond. Logan couldn't wait. He took a cast already. We're going to go ahead and break down our 5 favorite springtime baits. They're not really in any particular order because I lost my train of thought.
One eternity later.
They're not really in any particular order because they all have their advantages and disadvantages for certain, like how late you are into the spring, if they're spawning yet, where you are, clarity of the water, all those kind of factors. So that's why we're not really going to put them in an order, but we're going to switch over to the tripod right about now. And here we go. You want to start it off?
Yeah, sure. So first up, we have, oh boy, here we go. First off, we've got the lipless crankbait. Okay, this is one of my just most favorite versatile baits, probably, I would say. I've got the Googan, I forget what it's called, but it's Googan bait, lipless. Just cast it, slow roll back, pause every now and then. Yeah, that's the first one.
All right, for me, I've got a suspending jerk bait here, and the reason I like this particularly in early spring, like first ice out, because the fish, when the temperature starts warming up, they're a little lethargic, kind of like sleepy. So when you cast this out and give it jerk it in, and then with it suspending, it'll kind of rise like this, like a fish that's kind of out of it, and that makes for an easy meal for a big bass.
All right, next up on the new rod that I got is chatterbait, the Old Faithful bladed jig. So this one I think is the Z-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is Z-Man chatterbait, but I mean, my favorite type of trailer is just a paddle tail. Throw a trailer on there, slow roll it, same with the lipless, and it just covers a ton of water, flashy. It's got that, when you slow roll it, it's got the good, like, short, slow, like, thumping to it, so, yeah.
Next up for me, similar to Logan's, is a spinnerbait. I prefer double-bladed spinnerbaits at any time of the year whenever I throw them, really. Really the only difference between the spinnerbait and the chatterbait is the chatterbait makes a little more noise, has a little more, vibration pattern through the water. But what I really like about spinnerbaits is when they're coming in like this, they kind of resemble a school of bait fish. And again, that makes for a really easy meal for a great big bass. You want to cover a lot of water with it, but you don't want to be reeling it in too fast. Otherwise, bass aren't even going to bother because they're just kind of waking up, is the best way that I can describe it. You done over there, Honcho?
Yep, I only rigged up 2 rods.
All right, then for the last one, which not particularly right now, just with how cold it's been and the water's not quite all the way warmed up yet, but I've got a jig, a finesse jig, whatever. I like to back it with a craw this time of year, springtime, especially pre-spawn when bass are active and moving up on beds. If you can see them on a bed and you pitch a jig in there with a craw on it, then they're going to go nuts because they're going to think it's a craw that's trying to eat, like attack their bed. their eggs if it's spawn. So I'm a big fan of jigs. Probably not going to throw this too much today just because, you know, the water here is still pretty cold, so not quite the best option for covering a lot of ground, but I do like it in the springtime. So like I said, backed with a craw, any kind of craw really. Yeah, that's all we got, so we're gonna get fishing now.
Tonight we'll see and hear firsthand
This kind of sound.
Let's hear the rest of it. How's it going, folks? So just got done fishing at the pond. Didn't have much of anything at all. I had one bite on the lipless crankbait, got off literally within like 2 seconds. I was pretty upset, especially since I had 2 brand new treble hooks on it. First fish of the year, I more often than not miss it. It's whatever. Anyways, not much content here today, but I do want to give a couple other quick tips and tricks to catching bass in springtime. So especially really early in the spring, you know, when the ice just comes off the water, it's, you know, the water temperature is anywhere from 35 to 50, you know, way before spawn. Big and slow. If I could tell you 2 simple things, just like fishing for people who haven't fished much before: big and slow, because the fish are super lethargic. They're, you know, they're just kind of coming out of the winter, whatever. They're still freezing cold, and they're really hungry. They're getting ready for spawn, so they're gonna need all that energy. So big and slow. And also, I would err on the side of natural. Some people might disagree with me on that. I don't know if I said that or not, but anyhow, I would go more natural colors. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for spring. Big and slow, natural colors, and then obviously you saw our top 5 baits. So wasn't much here today, just kind of a, you know, give out some of the stuff that we use to catch fish. That's the second video I've done that in. Obviously we didn't really catch anything today. It's really cold, didn't fish for very often just because we got cold. But anyways, more videos to come. Stay tuned. I've got the rods down here. I just packed them up, got all the fishing stuff, and I got stocked at Jack's Outdoors here in Ames. So plenty of fishing to come, plenty of fish to be caught yet this year. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching and good luck. See you in the next video.
All right, I am starting off with the chatterbait.
Sure.
Or I mean the spinnerbait.